Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year to you. I'm so excited to welcome you to another video tutorial. And in this video, we shall be jumping into the XAUUSD. And this is one of the pairs we have been monitoring closely well throughout the course of last year. So this year, we are going to be looking at how we are going to be taking advantage of this, of a trading opportunity from a long-term perspective. Now, we are going to be starting with the analysis on the daily time frame where we want to be taking an holistic view of what has really been happening here in the last year. Now, if we look at the current structure we have here on the daily time frame, it is very important that we take into consideration that very important key level that we have at the $1,800 level, as you can see here, which I have just highlighted on your screen right now. And if you can see how this level has been very, very important in determining how price action will be moving, then definitely you would agree with me that we are going to be using the structure to determine if we are going to be buying the XAUUSD for this year or we are going to be selling for this year. Now, look at what happened here during the first couple of months last year. We saw that between the month of December 2021 and the month of February of this year of last year, we saw how that level has been holding by pressure. We saw the accumulation of buying pressure around that area, which incited the bullish momentum that started in the month of February to take price into the highest point price ever got to in the year 2022. So we saw price culminate at the $2,080 level before we saw the spiral um, bearish momentum that took price again back into that $1,800 level. And we saw a little buy pressure coming in at that particular point in time, but it wasn't strong enough to take price out of that bearish trend line that we have here. So what happened afterward was quite interesting. As we saw, if we zoom in, we saw a final breakdown of the 1,800. Remember that very important key level we highlighted earlier. We saw the breakdown of that structure. And as soon as price broke down that structure, and ever since then, price has continued to trade below that structure. We saw a retest of that structure here, lining up with the bearish trend line, further emphasizing the strength of the sellers at this particular point in time. And look at what had happened here. Even into the last quarter of last year, we saw how the bullish momentum got into the 1,800. And as soon as price got into that area, we saw a huge consolidation phase which lasted a whole month to give us a clue that there is an indecision in that market at a particular point in time, as participants are not sure if it's going to be the right time, if it's going to be cheap enough to buy the XAUUSD at that 1,800 level. And if we zoom in closely into what has happened in the last month, we can see that we have been witnessing some tussle between the buyers and sellers around the 1,800 level. So there has been a fight for the 1,800 level. And on the last day of last year, we saw how price broke out of that level to signal that there is a strength for buying power around that area. Are we going to be having a buying momentum here as price has finally broken out of the 1,800? Or will the breakout of this 1,800 turn out to be a false one in such a way that we're going to be seeing price drop down below the structure to incite probably a retracement phase down to the 1,068E? So at this point in time, I would like us to quickly have a look at the macroeconomic event where we are going to be looking at the possibility of some liquidity coming into the market as participants um, uh, keep a closer look at some macroeconomic events coming up this week. And on the economic calendar, we shall be focusing on the key event that will be affecting the US dollar. And the first economic event coming up this week is on Wednesday here, as we have the ISM manufacturing PMI for the month of December. Then we also have the FOMC meeting, which is going to be published on the same day as well. Then on Thursday, we have the ADP employment change, which is also an high impact event. And from the consensus here, it appears that there is some positivity in the here for the USD JPY as we have a consensus about 134 thousand compared to what we had previously at 127,000. Then, if we look at what's happening on Friday, we can see that we have the almighty non-farm payroll, which is going to be the first non-farm payroll for this year, and there is this sense of negativity for the USD JPY for this for the non-farm payroll, as we have a consensus of 57,000 if we compare it with the 263,000 for last month. So we are going to be looking at how participants in this market will be anticipating this major event, which obviously we shall be seeing on the charts as price action. So if we scale back into the chart right now and look at what has been happening around the $1,800 level in the last 1 month, it's, you would agree that it's important that we really understand what is really going on around here in order to position ourselves in such a way that we can catch the move when it finally happens. And in order to identify what is really going on here, we want to be scaling down to the 4 hours time frame. And in fact, I was able to identify a couple of structures here on the 4 hours time frame, which we shall be using to guide our trading activity for the new year. Now, look at what we have here on the 4 hours time frame. I want to zoom out so that we can see what I was able to um, bring up on the 4 hours time frame. And here on the 4 hours time frame, we can see obviously that since the later part of the month of September last year, we saw that bullish momentum begin to accumulate at around the 1,620 level, as I was able to identify this area as a demand zone. And in fact, it took about 2 months before the bullish momentum spark out of that structure, and we saw that as soon as price broke out of this level, break out of the 1680, climb above the bullish trend line here in the month of November, we saw that since then price has continued to respect this bullish trend line to further emphasize the strength of the buyers at this point in the market. Now, if we zoom into the current structure here, and what do I mean by the current structure? I mean the structure for the month of December, we can see how I was able to identify another important structure here at the 1820. And if you look at this level, you see how this level has been a strong selling niche for participants in this market since the beginning of the month of December. It was a strong selling niche, as we saw how that level continued to reject every attempt by the buyers to break out of that structure. And in addition to the 1820, here is the 1800. Remember, we identified the structure on our daily time frame, and we said this is a very key level also we want to be using to guide our trading activity, as if price remains above the 1800, we continue to look out for buy pressure, and if price breaks down the 1800, then we continue to anticipate some selling opportunities, as we can see that the bullish trend line here also shares a confluence with our structure. So what I'm simply saying here is that if price breaks down the 1800, which also shares a confluence with the bullish trend line with selling pressure below the structure on our lower time frame, we might want to be looking forward to selling the XAUUSD. And in fact, if we see price break down this 1820 one more time with selling pressure below the structure, we might consider selling, as we know that the level here, the $1,820 level, has been a strong selling niche for participants in this market in the last 1 month. Now, with the structure here, and with the situation of things right now, as you can see right now, price is around the 1820, where there is a tendency that we might likely see a breakout of that structure. And if at any point in time this week price breaks out of that level, that is the 1820, and we start seeing buy pressure right above the structure, then we might likely be looking out for buying opportunities to join that potential rally to the upside. So these are the scenarios we shall be looking forward to this week. So the 1000 breakout of the 1820 followed by buying pressure right above that structure is likely going to be giving us an opportunity to buy the XAUUSD. And if selling pressure falls below the comes below the 1,820, we continue to look out for selling opportunities, which, if we further break down of the bullish trend line, $1,800 level, then we want to be adding more position to the sell position we are already in. So these are my scenarios here, and I would like to pause the video at this point, but be rest assured that I will be jumping right in the comment section of this video to give you an update on what my expectations are after monitoring how participants in this market will be relating or reacting to the 1,820 level during the early hours of the new week. I hope this video has been of immense help in making your personal decision on the XAUUSD. And if it did, kindly support this project by clicking the like button. You would also want to follow me on my TradingView platform at Darksherry, spelled DARCSHERRY, so that you don't miss out on all of the daily commentaries and updates I normally dish out in the comment section of all of my videos. Thank you for watching this video, and once again, I wish you a happy new year. Do have a wonderful day. Bye bye.